My name is Maynard Neal, and I'm owner and operator of a flower shop named A World of Petals on the east side of Detroit. What made me decide to be a florist is a funny story. I have a friend that owns a funeral home, and I helped him out with some marketing. And in turn, he had mentioned that he had a building across the street from his funeral home that was opening to be a great location for a flower shop. So I kind of hee-hawed around and then just jumped right into it and said, okay, let me try it. And 7 years later, here I am. When I first started the business on 7 Mile, it kicked off for a few different reasons, I believe. The color of the building, we painted the building a pink. It's called Fuchsia Kiss, which stands out, piped it in white. So when people drove by, you couldn't help but look over there and see it. And it was just so pretty, it didn't even look real. The prices of roses, running a special that was unbelievable to capture the people's attention, to customer service. So just like with any business that you open, you're gonna have your ups and your downs. For the most part, I would have to say been very blessed. It's been hard times with the recession, and we are surviving. We're not doing super excellent, but I just thank God that we're still here. Well, the process of marketing to help expand the business, it was more or less you throw things against the wall and you see what sticks. So you had to do a measurement. From reaching out to the local churches in the community, letting them know. That was a big help, because if you look at the churches in Detroit have a congregation of, let's say, 1,200 people. So that was a gigantic help. But for the most part, and I think this goes a long ways, is word of mouth. When you treat people right, you provide a good quality product, and you keep your place clean. I mean, you manicure the lawns. When people walk in, it should smell good, look good, and they also receive exceptional service. My favorite flower or plant, it varies, but if I was to try to hone it in to one, because there's so many beautiful flowers and plants out there, from tropical or domestic, I would have to go with the calla lily. The reason I choose the calla lily is because with flowers, you have some that has a large aroma that really smells up the room. You have different colors, etc. But a calla lily is just simple elegance. It doesn't have any type of odor, and it just has a natural beauty. It's very simple, and I like that. A lot of times there's situations where a family can't afford flowers for a funeral. So for funerals, I do donate flowers. I started that really shortly after I first opened 7 years ago, where there's a lot of children in the city that pass, unfortunately, for one reason or another. So I started something with the Detroit Police Department where it's nothing that I advertise, but the word does get around, where I provide flowers for any child that dies in the city under the age of 11 if the family can't afford to purchase flowers for the funeral. Right now, A World of Petals is one of the few flower shops that actually carries the rainbow roses and sells them in the city. You know, there's a flower auction in Holland, and then there's a flower auction for the United States. All the flowers come from Holland or from Ecuador, Costa Rica, etc., Colombia. And I noticed on the Holland auction, they had something called rainbow roses. I had never heard of them. This was several years ago. And when I saw a picture of it, I said, man, this is different. So they were an expensive rose at that time. So I tried to figure out the process of producing those myself here. The customer response to the rainbow roses has been unbelievable, to sum it up. A lot of the times the customers, they say, is that a real flower? And then I knew I was onto something once we ended up getting the flowers in, and I would deliver the flowers myself, and I walk into a place and everybody wanted a card and everybody wanted to send it to somebody because they never seen a rose like that. And next thing you know, it went from 1 delivery to 8 deliveries. So it's really been strange. People, for the most part, have just loved it when they saw it because it's something that's different, and everybody wants something that's different. So it's really worked out well.